Welcome back to the cryptowrld channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and over the past one day, we have just seen over $140 million worth of Bitcoin short positions get closed. And by the way, this is on the Bitfinex exchange using the 1 hour time frame. But if you're zooming out to the 4 hour time frame, you can see that all of those Bitcoin short positions that just closed were probably just the same short positions that opened only a few days ago. And this whole process was very interesting to watch because all of these Bitcoin short positions were opening up right as the Bitcoin price started running into some support. But now that the Bitcoin price is seeing a very small bounce here on the 4 hour time frame, these short positions are starting to close. So the lesson here is to not open a Bitcoin short position as the Bitcoin price is running into support. Instead, if you were already wanting to short Bitcoin, it would make sense if we break a major level of support or start seeing some shorter term bearish signs. But of course, if you've been on this channel over the past 1 week, pretty much every single day over the past 5 days in a row, I've been talking about how it is incredibly likely we're going to be playing out short-term sideways price action. And this has mostly been based on the 12-hour Bitcoin price oscillators because you can clearly see that, first of all, the RSI is just trending to the side. But looking in the 12-hour Bitcoin MACD, we are seeing pretty much no momentum at all. The histogram is almost completely flat. So it is absolutely no surprise that we've just played out a bunch of sideways price action over the past 5 days as expected. But something that I've been telling you about over the past 2 days now is the Fed meeting that is happening tomorrow. And out of all of the possible days where volatility could return, it would probably be happening on the day of the Fed meeting, especially if we get a different result of that meeting compared to the result that we are expecting, which is a 25 basis point hike. And so because the majority in the market are expecting a 25 basis point hike, if we do end up seeing a 25 basis point hike, then honestly, nothing much should actually happen in the price. But of course, there is a small chance where we could see a 50 basis point hike and an even smaller chance that we see no rate hike at all. But honestly, that is a very unlikely scenario. And basically, if we end up seeing one of those other scenarios other than the 25 basis point hike, that is when we could experience a more volatile move. And basically, the bigger the rate hike, the more bearish that is. So if we see a 50 basis point hike, then we could see a dump on that day. But if somehow interest rates remain the same, which is a very unlikely scenario, but if somehow that does happen, then that would be very bullish for prices. But it would also be very bad for inflation. So keep that in mind. And if you're looking at the daily Bitcoin chart, of course, we are still holding above this upwards trending line of support, which is coming in at approximately 38,000, give or take. And we have the same symmetrical triangle pattern forming in both the RSI and the daily MACD. So for the time being, we are looking somewhat neutral here, as I just said. But if we break below this point of support, then essentially the bears are back in control, at least in the shorter term, but that could continue if we take out some of these other levels. But for the bulls to have control over the Bitcoin price, we need to break above that 45K level in order to see any longer term bullish move beyond just these short term bullish moves that we have been experiencing from time to time over the past couple months. And of course, we still have this massive range of support in the daily VPVR indicator, starting at around 39,000 and going all the way down towards around 30,000, give or take. And as for some major resistance, we have this area of resistance, which is starting at around 45K and going up towards around 50,000, give or take. And of course, the 3-day Bitcoin RSI and the 3-day Bitcoin MACD are both trending to the upside. But like I've been saying for a while now, even though the 3-day MACD is technically bullish, the momentum is very weak, which is why we must see a break of these major points of resistance that I just mentioned in order to see any further bullish move on these larger timeframes, talking about these much larger bullish moves. And giving you a quick update on the US stock market today, this right here is the S&P 500 index on the daily time frame. And today, at the time of recording this video, is a green day, which is obviously good. Not to mention the fact that we still have not taken out the February low, at least just yet, which is also a decent sign. And on top of that, this upward trending line of support in the daily RSI for the S&P 500 index is still intact, which means we technically still have this bullish divergence in play. But if the daily RSI starts breaking this line of support, then that could invalidate this previous bullish divergence. And while we're looking at the daily RSI for the S&P 500 index, what is very interesting is that we have this major line of resistance in the RSI, and this is basically forcing the RSI into a tightening range. And the direction that the RSI takes when we eventually break out of this price range, either breaking out to the upside or breaking out to the downside, the direction of that break would likely influence the next shorter term trend in the stock market. So obviously a break to the downside would be bearish and a break to the upside would be bullish. And if you want to stay up to date in the financial markets and also get extra bonus content just like this, then definitely make sure you follow me over on my Twitter, and the link to my Twitter Twitter is in the description down below and also in the pinned comment. But anyway, if you found this video useful or simply enjoyed it, make sure to leave a like down below. And if you're new to the channel, you might as well subscribe with notifications turned on for more updates just like this every single day. And for those of you that want to make a lot of money in crypto, whether or not prices are going up or down, these two videos popping up right here are definitely for you. But anyway, that is it for this update. I really hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next video.